Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leader in rushing, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Flying solo as of the moment. We'll see if the guys jump in here. We did a long stream this morning for a little Victory Monday celebration, and the reality is Victory Monday rolls on. So we're going to dive into a bunch of topics tonight. For those of you who missed the morning show or the updates that we did there mid-afternoon, I guess you could say, we got an update on Josh Jacobs. Matt LaFleur spoke on it. We'll give you guys the details there. We'll also talk a little Jordan Love and how he's really, really turned the corner in terms of, man, I don't know. It just seems like you've seen the ups and downs this year. There's way more ups than there are downs, and now you're starting to see him step into a whole different level of play, which is really, really exciting. We'll break down all that, several different statistics, multiple people on X tweeting out about Jordan Love. We'll give you all that detail. We'll also talk about the wide receiver room a little bit. We'll show you a little bit of tape, a little preview for Chalk Talk tomorrow. We'll break that down. Obviously, we got 16 plays to dive into tomorrow. We'll also talk a little bit about the DB room. You know, you got people like Carrington Valentine, Javon Bullard that are truly stepping up now. And thank you, man. And he come up here and shut the door. See, I forget stuff all the time. So we'll dive into all that stuff as well as the PFF grades as a whole. But before we do, if you guys would, do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you talking Packers on the daily. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. I see the chat is already lit up on fire. Thank y'all so much for joining us this evening. Let's dive into some, I think this is some interesting stuff here, man. First of all, let's get the news out of the way, which we talked about earlier today already. But again, we'll just dabble into it a little bit more in case you guys missed that show. Ian Rappaport tweeted out earlier today, Packers standout running back Josh Jacobs' knee is structurally sound and no surgery is needed, per me and Tom Pelissero. He's considered day-to-day, but could miss the game against the Vikings. So again, it's going to be one of those game time decisions. I would imagine they'll keep him out of practice all week long. It's not like he needs the extra practice. He completely understands the offense. He's the heartbeat of this team, obviously. So I'm not concerned with him maybe not being prepared. It's more so, do we want to risk sending him out there? Now, it sounds like there's no long-term I'm not trying to say long-term risk with this, right? Because Matt LaFleur actually did give a specific detail on the injury. It'll probably be hard to hear. I'm going to play it anyway. So you guys just crank up the volume. I'll explain what he said here in just a second in case you can't hear it. But here we go. Here was Matt LaFleur at the podium earlier today talking about Josh Jacobs' injury there at MetLife Stadium.
Is IR a consideration for Josh at all?
No.
This week a possibility?
Potentially, we'll see where he's at. It's a contusion, so it's just more or less trying to get the swelling down, and unfortunately, that's a pretty hard surface over there, and
shots fired.
Sometimes the byproduct of that.
So obviously what he said there was, Matt LaFleur confirms Josh Jacobs' injury is a contusion, mentioning it was the hard surface at MetLife Stadium that kind of caused it. Most of the time when you're talking about artificial turf, artificial surfaces, the big complaint is it's very springy, right? And that's what can be really hard on ligaments. That's why you see so many ACLs get torn and all that stuff on, artificial surface. However, he's talking about it being a little bit harder surface. So when you watch the tackle of Josh Jacobs getting tackled out of bounds, obviously you can see his knee kind of jams into the turf. Not a whole lot of give there. Like with grass, obviously with the surface that's just beneath the grass, the grass level, there's a lot of give there, right? The grass will actually tear away. It'll dent in, that type of thing, right? And that's why many players don't like the springboardness of the artificial turf, as well as obviously a surface like at MetLife Stadium where it's hard. So he said that he needs the swelling to go down to have a chance to play on Sunday is essentially what he said. So let's jump into the actual injury there. When you hear contusion, I know some people are like, what the hell is a contusion? It's basically a severe bruise, right? And this is just an AI, quick little Google search. Obviously, you guys do your own research, but Google AI says a knee contusion is a bruise of the knee causing caused by blunt trauma that damages blood vessels under the skin, leading to pain, swelling, and discoloration. Obviously, Matt LaFleur talked about the swelling there, and you can see that's kind of a severe case. I imagine that's probably what Josh Jacobs' knee looks like. If it was just a little slight bruise, no big deal, he probably would have came back in the game. But we got Tim joining us now. Tim, I imagine it looks something similar to that, man. And let me tell you, you just hear a bruise. We all get bruised up all the time. That looks nasty right there, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. I doubt he plays on Sunday against the Vikings. That's my personal theory. And I think it's a good idea. Give it that time. We talk about our boy Jair, man. Jair's still having fluid drained from his knee from 3 years ago, every other day. Took some time away from the game. So, the good news is the knee is structurally sound. There's no surgery. There's, no ligament tears, all this stuff. But, severe swelling and bruising is no joke, and it's painful. And there's no reason at all to rush Josh back into the field at all.
Right. And it talks about here, treatment typically involves rest, ice compression, and elevation. Basically.
Notice it doesn't say playing football anywhere in the.
Right. It says along with over-the-counter pain relievers, you got to have those, right? Minor contusions can heal in a few days, but more severe injuries like a bone bruise may take weeks or months to recover, and medical attention should be sought to rule out more serious damage like a fracture or a ligament tear. Obviously, they went through that whole process, and, you guys remember last year, Christian Watson, I think it was last year, had someone fall on his knee, right? And that caused a bone bruise. I think they would have specifically mentioned that if this contusion involved a bone bruise, obviously. So this is, I think, strictly just a contusion. So hopefully we'll get Josh Jacobs back sooner rather than later. But I'm with you, Tim. No reason to rush him out there for Minnesota. I'm not going to say you don't need him. It's a division rival. Listen, it's going to be a hard-fought game. There's no two ways about that. I don't care how bad someone's record looks or how bad their young quarterback's playing. It's always going to be a dogfight, just like it was for the Chicago Bears yesterday, right? It ended up being a 2-point ball game, and some people thought they were going to boat race the Vikings. So with that being said, I had the Vikings winning 20-17, and I firmly stand behind that, thinking J.J. McCarthy was at home. I don't see him throwing 2 picks. Boy, was I wrong, because J.J. McCarthy, we'll talk about him here in a minute, but that's looking like cheeks there. So we'll dive into all that here in a second. But you guys let us know in the comments if you're watching this video back later, now that we've got the specific diagnosis of the contusion there. Let us know in the comments what you think about Josh Jacobs. Would you try to rush him back this week? Would you hold him out? Do you think it's that important a game? Or would you be a little more cautious, that type of thing? So let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, Tim, let's switch gears to Jordan Love, man. There's been a lot of chatter on X about Jordan Love. And, man, I watched this video that the Packers posted earlier, and it made me think of this Brett Favre throw. So I just threw a side-by-side shot together. We'll watch it once or twice in case we may get in trouble for showing it. And I had to pull the oldie but the goodie of Jordan Love walking into the stadium wearing the Brett Favre jersey. I feel like he's more like Brett Favre than Aaron Rodgers, and just in the sense of how he plays and takes those risky throws. Man, is it fun to watch. I'm not trying to say Jordan Love's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I know for whatever reason, there's a portion of the fan base that gets pissed off when you try to compare this player to that player. Guys, we've been doing that with football our entire lives. Like, everybody's looking for the next Barry Sanders. Everybody's looking for the next Deion Sanders. Everybody's looking for the next, Jerry Rice, right? So when you start to see commonalities, ain't nothing wrong with comparing players, right? And I don't know, it just bothers me that people get so upset about it. But anyway, I want you guys to look at this side-by-side shot. I got to make sure it's muted because there's some NFL Films music there that was just absolutely awesome. But anyway, here we go. Playing it. Look at this side-by-side here. This is Brett Favre's touchdown pass against the Bengals to Kendrick Taylor. And then look at the throw side by side, man. The camera shot is just perfect, is it not, Tim? Look at this, dropping it right in the basket. Perfect throws.
Hey, shout out to NFL Films, man. That's, the Sable family. That's who birthed these kind of shots right here, zooming in on the ball. I love it. I'm gonna be honest. I think Jordan's got a little bit of a better spin on that ball, but
everybody said online, like, actually, it's a tighter spiral than Favre. But keep in mind, to the best of my knowledge, that was Favre's first game coming in too. Like, I think that was the game where Magic Man got hurt, right? So
that was after Brett Favre's first completion to himself.
Yeah. Exactly. So again, that's the first thing I thought of when the Packers released that video earlier on Twitter. I was like, man, I got to figure out how to get a side-by-side shot, because that just made me think of that Brett Favre throw for sure. So
That's so cool.
So moving along with the Jordan Love talk, just to give you an update on how it's going from PFF standpoint, I threw out a tweet. Jordan Love has now surpassed the highest PFF season grade of his career with an 84.4, and now Toyotathon begins. If you notice here throughout his career, right, the PFF grades 36.2, 78.7, 83.6 is his highest grade up to this year, right, and that was in 2023. Last year, 3 different injuries he was dealing with most of the season, drops to a 75.8, still a hell of a grade for an injured player, and then jumps right up to an 84.4. Now, listen, there's a lot of season left. He may dip back under that 75, right? But as he's on pace for right now, it looks like he's on track to have his best season in terms of PFF and overall offensive PFF grade. I like to include the overall offensive grade because the run should be involved there, right? It shouldn't just be about the passing grade, in my opinion, because quarterback, as you could see yesterday, hell, the last 2 games, you're starting to break out a little bit of read option with Jordan too. Now, got to be careful, make sure he slides, take care of him. Obviously, he's not Malik Willis out there scrambling around. But what do you think about this, man? I think he's tracking really, really well. And I actually showed a point, or I had quote tweeted the tweet I threw out, Emmanuel Wilson with great pass protection. Let me just roll this real quick for you guys and gals. Watch Emmanuel Wilson on this. Jordan Cans to the backup play. Look at Emmanuel Wilson. Look at that protection right there, boys. And then just a dot across his body. We'll talk about that play specifically here in a second. But again, man, Jordan Love, Tim, is off to a hell of a start, dude.
Let's go, Toyotathon. I love what you do for me, Toyota. Remember that? Are you guys old enough for that one?
I don't think I remember that one, Tim, but we might not have had cable at the time.
That's back in the day, but hey, I'm not surprised at all, man. I've been saying Jay Money is the dime thrower. He wears number 10 because he only throws dimes. I've been saying this for years, and from a PFF,
every time, Tim, we're gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure. From a PFF standpoint, I mean, yeah, the proof is in the pudding, right? He's well on pace to have one of his best graded seasons, and this is still only the surface, I think, for Jordan Love. The more reps he gets, the better he's going to be. And coming back into that game on Sunday like the hero that he is was incredible. Got a little nervous there. Luckily, we had Malik to keep the train on the tracks until the conductor could get back and do what he does. I'm just hyped about Jordan, man. I'm not surprised at all. And anyone who's played with him or against him will tell you the same thing. I mean, I don't think there's anybody in this league, either side of the ball, that thinks Jordan's a joke. Honestly, no. I think it's mostly fans that are delusional.
It's a portion of the fan base that does not want to be wrong about judging him too early, right?
Exactly.
And the only thing worse than judging someone too early or getting a take wrong, guys, you watch this show consistently. I'm wrong all the time. The only thing worse than being wrong at something is just refusing to admit that you were wrong.
Doubling down on wrong is never a good look.
Yeah, it's a really bad look. But I want to show you a good look here. We'll roll it through maybe once or twice, a little preview for Chalk Talk tomorrow. This play, as I said, and I apologize for the coughing, Matt LaFleur bluffing a switch slot cross, teeing up a cross corner route for Matthew Golden, the play I just showed you, right? Coach was in his damn bag yesterday. This play call, and again, we'll highlight it a little more in detail tomorrow on Chalk Talk, but it was 11 ace nasty, dubs right, Z cheat to wing, double leak, 22 fake, counter switch, X climb, F cross corner. And the F cross corner is Matthew Golden playing F right here. Notice they've actually got Savion playing the Z and Christian in the X, right? Again, the X is on the line of scrimmage, opposite the tight end. The F is typically your slot receiver, your motion guy. In this case, they're going to move the Z into wing. Remember, when we broke down Savion Williams when we drafted him, we showed you on tape, his tape at TCU, where he would play the wing. Because when you kick in the wing, you can almost be like a tight end. That's been Christian's role for the most part. They'll do Wicks like that occasionally. They like to do Heath like that because he's a bigger body receiver, a little more physical. So it's cool to see them. They're slowly, Tim, giving Savion more and more responsibility, and boom, you've seen him have I don't want to say a breakout game, but he made a breakout play in a crucial time there. I think it was on a 3rd and 10 in the fourth quarter on that go-ahead drive. So it's just so cool to see that. But again, notice Matthew Golden playing F is the number 2 receiver. Count him from outside in. Christian's the 1. He's the 2. So Christian is going to run a climb route, okay? Savion's going to kick into the Z. He's going to chip, leak in the flat. And you're going to have a little spot route, or what I call it's more of a spacing, I guess you could say. It's a double leak, so you're going to have a sit. The Y is just going to turn around and sit down. And then what you're going to have with our boy Matthew Golden, remember slot cross would be Golden running a climb, okay? Christian running a dig, and Matt LaFleur loves that. Remember, he always says the illusion of complexity with simplicity at its core, right? That's how he operates this offense.
Yep.
So instead of running
Especially out of the condensed sets like this, for sure.
Yeah, with a nasty split, right? So instead of running slot cross, what they're going to do is a switch fake slot cross, and it's going to turn into an F cross corner. So what they're going to do is at the snap, these guys are going to switch places. Okay, the ball's going to be snapped. Christian's going to cut in front of our boy Matthew Golden. He's going to run the climb, and then Matthew Golden is going to slip in behind him, look like he's setting up the dig or the crosser, right? Like a follow cross, if you will, and then he's going to put his foot in the ground and run a corner route or an out, essentially. It's more of a choice route is what it is, right? So, again, that's the F cross corner. That play call is 11 ace nasty, dubs right, Z cheat the wing, double leak, 22 fake counter, switch, X climb, and we're going to throw the F cross corner. Watch Golden in the 2. Watch them switch off the snap. There's the switch, crosser, fake the crosser, the dig, come back, and bang.
MG,
I mean, he's running butt naked through the trailer park. So
that's why he was our first round pick, man.
Yeah,
right there. Look how sudden he is off the snap, and then on the route too. It's just crazy.
And this is what we're talking about. When people speak out of their ass about Matt LaFleur not being able to scheme, he's not creative. He literally not only this is 3 layers deep. He loves slot cross, so he showed a slot cross look, and then he gave them a little wrinkle of we're going to run a switch slot cross. They bit on the dig or the secondary crosser, and then what's he do? He comes back to the sideline. So this is him playing a poker hand about 3 deep. And look at the separation that Matthew Golden has down here. And again, Jordan Love makes a hell of a throw, fades to his left, goes across his body, puts it where it needs to be in, I wouldn't say perfect timing, but good enough timing to give his receiver a chance to just make an easy play there. So just absolutely love it. As Coach Lynn points out, since it's a nasty split, Golden ran that out of the wing spot also. Very, very similar to kind of that really, really tight, almost like in a tight end spot there as well. So moving along to some of the other Jordan Love talk here. Wendell Ferrara. I hope I'm saying that name right. I don't know if it's Ferreira or Ferrara, but Wendell's a great follow over on X. It's at Wendell FP. Says there's only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL with a big time throw rate of 5.5 plus, okay, and a turnover worthy play rate of 3 minus whatever, right? Here is who they are, okay? Again, only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL, Matthew Stafford and Jordan Love. So what's that mean? Big time throw rate, making big time throws consistently, right? But while also protecting the football and not putting it in harm's way and throwing interceptions. Now, again, go back to last year, Tim. He's putting it in harm's way all the time. We talked about bad mechanics, can't step into the throw, can't drive the throw down the field, right? We talked about that. Yep. All the injury stuff that came into play. Again, man, it just seems like every week there's a new statistic, some kind of advanced metric that we could take a look at and go, I'll be damned. He's separated himself there too. So he's showing way, way, way more signs of being an elite quarterback than he is being just a good quarterback, if that makes sense.
That's true. And that's like you said, he's more like Brett than he is Aaron. But those 2 comparisons are elite quarterbacks, and Jordan is tilting towards the elite category for sure. And that's the cool thing about these advanced metrics. We didn't have these, 10, 20 years ago when we were watching ball. So it is kind of cool. You look at, like this next thing we're going to, Jordan Love's completion percentage. I mean, completion percentage was pretty much, other than passer rating, that's what we had to go off of, Mm-hmm. So we have advanced metrics now. It does make it a little interesting when you really do a deep dive and take a look at how he's playing right now. And being in the company of Matt Stafford right now is pretty awesome because Matt Stafford's MVP candidate the way he's playing right now.
Absolutely, man. He's up there in the conversation. He may be leading it right now. I haven't checked that in a while, but Jacob Morley tweets out another great follow over on X. Jordan Love's completion percentage from a clean pocket by year. So look at how things dipped last year and then got so much better this year, right? 2023 with a clean pocket, 69.7. That was 16th in the league. Last year, again, injured most of the year, 69.6. That was 20th best in the league. This year with a clean pocket, 82.2. That is number 1 in the National Football League in 2025 so far. Obviously, Jacob Morley says, obviously, give a ton of credit to Love, but tip of the cap to first-year quarterback coach Sean Mannion as well. You know, some of us were kind of concerned, when the old quarterback coach Clements, right, when he steps down, what's Sean Mannion going to do? Matt LaFleur, once again, you got to tip your cap to Matt LaFleur. He had a plan in place. Hey, look, before you retire, right, Tom, before you retire, because you're the GOAT, let me get the young one in here so you can kind of show him the way.
Before you retire again.
Right.
You already got him back from retirement once, right?
Exactly. So just absolutely awesome. And as 2-0 for this points out, J.J. McCarthy could use Sean Mannion as a quarterback coach. I'm glad you brung that up. That up there, 2-0 for this. Stay out of my head, buddy, because this next thing I wanted to hit on was also Wendell tweeting out. J.J. McCarthy has the worst turnover-worthy rate at 6.1 amongst qualifying quarterbacks. It's a big difference between what's going on in Green Bay at the quarterback position and what's going on in Minnesota, right? And we talked about, man, if you're going to move on from Sam Darnold, you better be damn sure that J.J. McCarthy's the guy. They bought into the hype. And obviously we were like, when people were picking them to win the North and they had them winning 12, 13 games in the offseason, I remember specifically saying, if J.J. McCarthy's good, yeah, that roster's built. But boy, that's a big if. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy is. He not only did he not play last year, but he got hurt in training camp. He didn't even get to go through a whole training camp. So we're just putting all the marbles in the bag of, hey, look, this dude is going to be legit, and we got no reason to believe that yet. So obviously, as it sits right now, and on the McAfee show earlier, I was watching it, and they broke down the last 6 or 7 quarterbacks that's played for Kevin O'Connell in Minnesota. It might have been other places too, but definitely in Minnesota. These are just average names other than Sam Darnold, who I think is I know he had a bad game yesterday. I'm pretty sure it was pretty ugly. But other than him, these guys were just kind of mid-tier quarterbacks. And all their completion percentage was like 65, 68, 69, 70. And then you got J.J. McCarthy was in the 50s. So one of these is different, right? And it's the same coach, which everybody was dubbing the new quarterback whisperer. And Kevin O'Connell. And that's no shade toward Kevin O'Connell. I think he's a great coach. But what it's saying is early indications are they probably whiffed on 9, as he likes to refer to himself. So anything you want to add?
We'll never know, right? Because, redshirt rookie year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, not even a camp. The hell with the season. You didn't even get a camp before he was hurt. So we don't know. That's where I'm at right there. I mean, that's not an indictment on KOC. Anyone who knows ball knows that he knows what he's doing. But, yeah, I think it would have served the Vikings better to pay that man his money when it comes to Mr. Darnold, for sure.
Yeah. Chris the Casual in the chat said, Clayton, is Caleb really good? Please say no. Caleb is really good at resting on the bench. Now, Caleb is really good at evading tackles. There's no denying that. And he's been clocked at over 20 mile an hour. He's a top 3 scrambling quarterback in the league right now. Notice I didn't say dual threat. And the reason being his completion percentage is in the tanks right now. Now, immediately Bears fans will go, well, his completion percentage is bad because of the drops. Okay, how many drops did we have yesterday? And look at Jordan Love's this year, right? So it's not like every quarterback isn't dealing with drops. With that being said, it's kind of like what we talked about with the tight end position. People are ready to give up on Luke Musgrave, and I understand. I don't see him as a true tight end. I see him as more of a weapon, more of a large wide receiver, as a true traditional Y. If you try to use him as a Y, he's going to play like Cheeks, right? Well, with Caleb Williams, as Ben Johnson is trying to make him a pocket passing quarterback, now you want him to be able to use his God-given talent to run around, but he does not play on time. He doesn't play on time. He doesn't play in rhythm. Typically, it's one read, let me make somebody miss. Right. And boy, you get some damn good plays on the run. He's making guys miss. But sooner or later, people are going to wisen up. And I put a tweet out. And it's funny how some people think this is just a casual approach. This is football 101. Coach Lynn will attest to it. If you've got a quarterback that scrambles a lot, right, and you're coaching DBs, you're coaching linebackers, you're coaching the defensive side of the ball, and you go in game planning that week for this mobile quarterback, you're going to look at his tendencies. Where does he run the most? Does he like to run to his left the most? Does he like to run to his right? That's the first thing. You check that off the list. Okay, we're going to be prepared for him to roll right. Let's say that's the case. All right. Where does he make the guys miss? Does he make them miss, jab step, and move outside? So if that's the case, then you have those defenders play his outside half. That's what I've always heard it called. Play the outside half. Somebody says it's also called bottling. No, bottling is a cage rush. You're trying to keep a guy in the pocket, right? You're trying to make him throw from the well. I'm talking about tackling technique. It's just like in baseball. If you get in the batter's cage, or let's say you're 3-4 games into the season and you're beating the ball into the damn ground, right? That means you're hitting the top of the ball. Guess what they teach you in the batting cage? Swing for the bottom half of the ball. And you'll notice you'll start making clean wood, right? Now, if you're popping everything up, they'll teach you swing for the top half of the ball, right? And it kind of evens things out. It's the same thing with tackling drills. If you've got a guy that on tape, it's showing everybody missing to the inside, aim for his outside half. Break down properly, show proper fundamentals, and play his outside half. Force him back into the teeth of the defense. That doesn't mean he's not going to scramble for a big gain up the middle either, but you're taking what he does really, really well away and all that extra space on the sideline. And plus what you're doing is you're putting him in a conflict situation where if he gets close to that first down marker and you force him back inside, he's got to make a business decision and a team decision. Do I slide or go for the first down? He's going to take more hits, more wear and tear. That's going to beat him down a little bit more as opposed to just always giving him the sideline to run out of bounds, right? So as Coach Lynn says here, he says, Caleb refuses to stay in the pocket and likes to roll right. And he'll roll left too, but his bread and butter is sit in the pocket, right? And when they emerge or whatever, jab step left, get them to commit left, and then he's just rolling out right. He's damn good at it. So 2-0 for this. I think he's an average quarterback, pocket passing quarterback, but he's got elite evasive skills. So take that for what you will. Now, I know that's not a letter grade over an overall quarterback, but again, I try to break things down to where it's like, okay, what do they do well? What do they do not so well? As Bill Belichick always said when the scouts would come to him with a scouting report, Tim, they'd say, all you guys are telling me is what they can't do good. What can they do good? What can they do to contribute and help the team win?
I throw that arm talent in the conversation too. We've always said that about Caleb. Yeah. He's got the ability to throw that football, hum that tater. So you combine that with the feet. It's real. You have to acknowledge it. I mean, this is not a JJ McCarthy situation. I mean, as you would say, right, Clay? Like JJ McCarthy can't. He couldn't hit a bullet in the ass with a mop.
That's right. My old high school coach used to say,
"Yeah, I don't get that vibe from Caleb. It's more of a football IQ kind of thing, and they're starting to put it together. It's going to be a hell of a divisional matchups when we play them, week after week here, right? We've got the Vikings, the Lions, the Bears, then Denver, then the Bears again. So, we can't take that for granted. But we love to razz the Bears because they will find a way to still suck somehow, some way, right?
Like a weak schedule up to this point. It's going to be exciting to see how the rest of their season goes. So, but just one more thing there. If you were to compare Caleb to J.J. McCarthy, right? Why is J.J. McCarthy stinking so bad? He's not making good decisions. What I'm seeing on the limited snaps I've seen, and it's probably irresponsible for me to comment to this level without watching all of his tape, but I'm always seeing him airmailing balls. He's missing high, right? Now, Caleb, rather than throwing into coverage, he would rather take a sack. Both of those things are wrong, right? Now, Caleb's gotten better at not taking sacks this year, and now he's evading the tackles. So that's why you got the Bears in a position to where, the reality is going into this week, and I'll have to check the updated numbers, Chicago had the 11th best scoring offense, right? Again, you look at the throwing numbers, the actual analytics would suggest, no, Caleb's not that good of a passer, but he's making things happen with his feet, and he is taking what the defense is giving him at some crucial times. So anyway, there's your Jordan Love talk of the night, and also a little extra NFC North quarterback talk. Let us know in the comments if there's anything you disagree with, anything you do agree with. Is there something we missed? How do you feel about the future of the NFC North and the quarterback position? Hit us up in the comments. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, Tim, let's switch gears here. Let's talk a little receiver, my man. And shout out to Ben Avery with the super sticker. Thank you for the dono, buddy. Appreciate you so much. Chuck Jaggers said 2-0 versus the Bear this year, please. Yes. Amen, man. Amen. And I'll tell you what's going to help you go 2-0 versus the Bears is guys like this right here, Tim. I don't know if you've seen this clip or not, but this is Christian Watson picking up a first down. I think this was on a 3rd and 1. And Matt LaFleur, I don't know if he called a passing player, if they can to it. We'll break that down on Chalk Talk tomorrow. But hit him on a crosser on a 3rd and 1, goes out of bounds. This dude was hanging all over him trying to tackle him. And as I pointed out, the image really tells the whole story. But I said the genuine concern on the Giants sideline for this player who just found out Christian Watson's a grown-ass man, and a laughing emoji. Look at everybody looking at him like, is he alive? Look at his leg. He's underneath the bench, and his legs are vertically in the air. After Christian and the guy tries to tackle him, and Christian just kind of shrugs it off like it ain't nothing, like a little gnat. You're talking about, what, 6'5", 225 pounds of solid muscle right there. Yeah,
I know
Christian,
it's not a high def photo, but look at the bros on the bench looking down like, what the hell is going on?
like, can we not get a breather in peace here, please? Like, we're all the way at the end of the bench too. These guys crack me up, Tim. All of them are like, oh,
somebody come
God.
look at this.
That's going to make the highlight reel, or the low light reel, I should say. So, yeah, as Chuck Jagger says, you guys want to see a body?
Hey, y'all want to see a dead body? I love it.
Absolutely. All right. So again, Christian Watson's on one right now, man.
Yeah.
And you can just feel the momentum building, and his hands have gotten better. So you've still got the speed. He's shown that. You've still got the frame. He's put on muscle. He's a leader in the locker room. His teammates respect him. He's got the right mindset. You could tell he's just dialed in. He's got that new dad strength, as we all know. This guy, I'm telling you, he's poised to really go to the next level. I've seen enough, Tim. I know we got the extension. He's under contract next year.
Oh, yeah.
Get this dude locked up. We need another. And what sucks is you got to wait a year from the previous extension. But as soon as you get to that date, get this dude locked up. This is going to be your number one corner, your deep threat. We showed you him playing X just a second ago. He can play X. He can play Z. He can line up in the wing. He can do all these different things. Him, Matthew Golden, and Jaden Reed in the future is a very, very exciting thing.
Pay that man his money.
Exactly. And speaking of Christian, that clip I showed you earlier, I did a side-by-side with the Brett Favre thing. I posted the original video earlier, okay? If you guys want to just watch it real quick. With music, we'll drum it down here. And there's that spiral we were talking about, man. Just a beautiful pass, just did on its own.
I'm going to keep mentioning it on a high snap that he had to juggle a little bit before he released it.
Absolutely. And there's Christian going up and getting it. And, of course, showing this because Papa Scoot, Christian's dad, said that's pretty cool. Those two dudes also may be rather decent football players. Amen to that. I think that's the understatement of the day. So Christian Watson doing great things. And here's what's cool, Tim. I don't want to say kind of left off our list sometimes because we always try to put respect on Romeo Dobbs' name. He's one of the unsung heroes on this offense, on this team. I want him back. It's just we've talked about it. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on it. Like, we all want him back. I'm just thinking it may not be in the roster modeling for the Packers because you're going to have to pay Christian Watson eventually. You're going to have to pay Jaden Reed eventually, right? And you got to pay Tucker Kraft too as soon as he proves he's good after the ACL. I have no worries there. But Romeo Dobbs, man, he just continues to play selfless. And this play right here, I just said no block, no rock. Romeo Dobbs doing that dirty work, digging out the safety on this Emmanuel Wilson touchdown run. Again, we'll break this down extensively tomorrow on Chalk Talk at 6 p.m. Central. And what a great play design by Matt LaFleur. So as you can see here, I'm going to highlight Romeo Dobbs up top, okay? So what position is he playing? They just shifted. They started with a 2x2 set, a dub set. This is 12, strong left. They're in a nasty split, right?
Yep,
so it was
again. Love these condensed sets from Matt.
So it was somewhat a balanced set. 2x2 is all Dubs means, guys. And he's on the line of scrimmage. That makes him the X. That makes Christian the Z down here. Okay, now they shift that to the left, which makes it a true X, boundary X, short side of the field. You see Jordan changes the play, right? So he cans, I'm assuming, to a run. It could have been two. It could have been two running plays, and he went from one running play to the other. It could have been a passing play, and he went to a running play. We don't truly know, right? You see barking out orders. Now look at Christian going to line up in the wing there, right behind the tight ends. So when you see that, you're probably thinking of some kind of switch release out here with the tight ends, right? And he just canned. So watch what happens with Rome. This is a beautiful play design. You can tell this is coached up for Rome. Don't even block the corner in front of you. Go straight and dig the safety out. Let Emmanuel Wilson have the corner. You dig the safety out, right? So watch this play unfold. Ball snapped. Look at Rome. Streaks to the inside, and look him dig the safety out. Bang, right there. That's what gets you the touchdown.
Fundamentals.
Yeah. Beautiful rep. Absolutely gorgeous rep by Romeo Dobbs. Selfless player. And knowing Christian Watson's on that side, if you look at this set from the defense, you're probably thinking they got to be running left here. They got both tight ends over there. They got Christian over there, Tim. They got to be running left. And what did? They went weak side run, and bang, Romeo with the key block. I just wanted to highlight that.
I'm glad you did, man, because I think a lot of fans, all they're looking at are looped clips of Rome dropping a couple of balls yesterday and not realizing that it's plays like that really help your football team. We talked about Chris Brooks this morning, with the crucial block on that tutter. Here's another great example of Rome just picking his team up and playing within the scheme and doing the little things, right? No block, no rock. Indeed, man. I love it. That's a staple of this Matt LaFleur offense for sure.
No block, no rock.
And what's cool is like, okay, we showed you a clip of Matthew Golden running butt naked through the trailer park. Great scheme, great route, everything 2 or 3 steps ahead of the Giants defense. Great throw from Jordan Love. But you see Matthew Golden on that route, right across corner. We've seen Christian line up in the X, the Z, and the F yesterday. Okay. And again, in the wing position or the wing location a couple times as well, which might as well be tied in. Okay. So he's all over the joint. We've shown you Matthew Golden playing the X position. We've shown Romeo Dobbs, who's truly your X, playing F most of the year. He's been jumping around playing a little F, a little flyer. So you got these guys mixing and matching constantly, right? We showed last week Wicks making a couple key catches, one on 1st and 10 where he caught an out route, another one on a crucial 3rd down that kind of kept you in that ball game against the Eagles coming right down to the wire. The receiving core is just really, really exciting. And we haven't got Jaden Reed back. We get Jaden Reed back on Thanksgiving, hopefully Thanksgiving, if he's good to go. We'll know real soon if they're going to open that window up. I think Matt talked a little bit about that earlier. He kind of hinted at they'll probably be opening up that window soon. This receiving core is about to get healthy. Now, it sucks you're still without Tucker Kraft. You're going to be without him until next year, but you got to make do. And you could see Matt's already positioning himself going, okay, let me get some good blocking tight ends in here and try to establish the run game a little bit. And now we're going to work off of that, which they did against the Giants. So I've seen some people responding to the tweets to him, and they were like, so is Matt just waiting to empty his bag until the playoffs? Is that why this just got broke out? No, this is all building. It's not like he's sitting back going, I'm going to run that play in week 6. No, you're looking at the tape, you're looking at the game plan and going, okay, we need to attack them this way. All right, let's build a game plan around this. We're going to install this formation, these set of plays, and then let's play off of that when teams start to adjust and bite down on that. It's a similar approach to what Hafley's doing on defense, knowing he's going to have to make adjustments. They've got the next install already ready to go when you're ready to flip the switch and go, okay, guys, now we're going here. Right. So
it's a week-to-week league, man. One game at a time, one matchup at a time, right? We as fans, we get that bird's eye view. We tend to look at seasons as one big movie, and it doesn't work that way, right?
All right. And then as Coach Lynn says, we got a Swiss Army knife with Wiley also. Wiley kind of reminds me of another player. I'm going to say a name here, and you guys, most of you will probably know what I'm talking about. But Tom Crabtree, how he could block. He could block. He could catch passes. He was more of that kind of that U tight end, right? Where you're just working him inside and letting him block, but then you occasionally leak him out. I always think of the fake field goal we ran. I believe it was a fake field goal where they pitched the ball to him, or maybe and took off. It might have been a fake punt too, but whatever it was, Crabtree was absolutely awesome. So I kind of get that vibe with Wiley. Does he remind you of any other tight ends? Obviously, you don't look at Wiley and think Jermichael Finley or think, any Bubba Franks or anybody like that. But is Crabtree, do you think that's a good comparison there?
I do. Kind of gives me Ben Sims vibes too, to get a little more recent memory. Unfortunately, he's a Viking now, but to your point, that's what Matt wants, right? We need tight ends that can play that way. And I think Wiley strikes me as a guy that he can, you're not going to replace Tuck Norris, right? But I think he can fill that void nicely for us throughout this year, and he's going to be clutch down the stretch. Played damn good yesterday. We'll take it.
Yeah, Joe Pack Joe makes a great point. Says Wiley looked like Tucker being that wide open. And that's the thing we pointed out with Tucker Kraft. You're not going to find bigger Tucker Kraft fans than the guys right here. There's nobody on our panel that hangs out on this show that doesn't think Tucker Kraft's a superstar. We were talking about it last year. Because the advanced metrics, like we're kind of highlighting a lot of this stuff with Jordan. We were talking about this stuff with Tucker. Like I remember putting a tweet out early this year that said, you can be disappointed, but don't you dare act surprised when Tucker Kraft becomes a superstar this year. And bang, he blew up right out of the gate. It's not because I'm so smart. It's all over the tape, and all the advanced metrics were suggesting he just needs more touches. Now, with that being said, you've got to be real too and point out it's not like Tucker Kraft is creating separation in tight windows, right? Matt was scheming his ass open, and he was running through people's faces. He can scheme Wiley open the same way that he can scheme Tucker open. I said that about Musgrave, but unfortunately, Musgrave's not going to run through tackles. Wiley kind of looks like
I think Riley might run through an MFer's face. You never know.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got that in him for sure.
I believe it, man. He seems like he plays the game the right way. Fitzpatrick, to me, seems to have taken a little bit of a back seat to what Wiley can do, and you play the hot hand. But don't be surprised if Fitzpatrick starts to step up later too, because what will happen is you get 3 or 4 tutters under Wiley's belt, especially shifting him from U to H, a pre-snap. All of a sudden, teams start keying in on him, leaking out and everything. Don't be surprised if Fitzpatrick starts running butt naked out of 12 personnel here soon, right? So again, everything's building off each other in real time, and playing to that over pursuit, that over analytics, I guess you could say. So, yeah, I agree, Coach. Coach says Fitz is our wide, definitely, and Wiley plays more of that U, where he can shift into H and kind of become a fullback almost, right? And I love those 2-back sets that Matt LaFleur's been mixing and matching too. So, all right. So that's going to do it for the wide receiver / tight end talk. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this video back later. How do you feel about the wide receiver room? Are we too optimistic? Are we maybe not optimistic enough? We want to know how you feel. Who's your sleeper? Like, you got a wide receiver that you look at and go, man, you guys are really overlooking this guy. I think he's going to take the next step. It may be Malik Heath. After not getting to travel with the team, it may light a fire under him, and he may be the next guy to step up. So, yeah, let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. And that is going to do it for hour 1. For those of you listening on the pod, we will see you on the other side for hour 2, where we are going to break down a whole lot of stuff, the DB room, and we're going to jump into the PFF grades as well. We'll see you over there. Appreciate you.